Catamounts won 13 games last year, went to the NCAA tournament. Gators trying to get back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2019. Like we mentioned in the open, trending in the right direction. As you can imagine, the Catamounts in those purple uniforms, Gators in the all-whites. I don't want to jinx it for games to come in August and September, but it feels pretty good right now weather-wise on opening night. You know, as we were down on the field during warm-ups, felt kind of pleasant. The shadows will envelop the field as this one goes along, and we are underway. Start of a new season in 2024. 30th season in program history for the Florida Gators. Of course, many years under Becky Burleigh. She started the program, won the national championship in 1998. And for Florida and Samantha Bohan, they are picked 13th in the preseason poll in the SEC, but they have a lot of talent. You know, I feel just kind of looking at it on paper, Matt, it's a team that's going to surprise a lot of different teams and programs in the SEC, and it starts tonight against an NCAA tournament squad in the Catamounts from a year ago. Here's Josie Curtis on the outside. This one goes out of play. Strength of this team, Matt, you know, looking at it on paper, is defensively. It's a team that had 9 shutouts last year. We showed the graphic. Alexa Goldberg had 8 of those. It was a career season for her in goal. Now, the issue is they've had some injuries up top. Megan Hinnenkamp will be out for the year. Tatum O'Coin, who is her backup at that forward spot, will be out for the year. So they're playing 3 players up top that are very young. They have 2 sophomores and a freshman, and 2 that are new to the program, but a lot of pace up top. This one is flicked on frame near Goldberg as Young was converging defensively. Early chance there for the Catamounts, Sophia Glukowski.
Organization there from Florida defensively. Didn't really allow a dangerous run deep into the box. Across the top of the 18. Difficult chance for Glukowski. Didn't really get a lot of purchase on the shot, and it was easy enough for Goldberg in the end.
Actually looked like that might have been Alexis DeMarco to start, part of the DeMarco sisters. Mentioned Isabella at the top, but Alexis in that midfield, 5th-year presence. A team that's going to score a lot of goals. They did so last year. They scored 44 as a team en route to that NCAA tournament. Chad Miller, their head coach, was picked as the Southern Conference Coach of the Year. And for good reason. They ended a stretch for Samford in which they had won the league 9 consecutive years. Here's now Josie Curtis on the outside. Chips it to center at the spot, and that's chipped away and cleared by the Catamounts. Played back in. Saved along the touchline to Young. Gets tripped up, and the whistle does come. Early opportunity here for the Gators just outside the 18.
Well, it's good work down the right flank for Florida. Curtis putting the ball into the danger area. Not really with a lot of industry on the cross, but then great work in the end by Bloom to keep things alive. She did well to get back onside. Passes the ball back to Young, who kind of ran out of steam and perhaps a little fortunate to get the free kick go her way. This is a great chance for the Gators early in this match.
Madison Jones, her first year, dealt with an ACL injury transferring from Kentucky. Played a full spring this year. Charges a bending ball that goes back to Leanne Trudell as we enter her into your living rooms for the first time. She was part of what was that magical year for the Catamounts a year ago. Her 32nd career start, all-conference second team, and just like Alexa Goldberg, had that career season. Led the Southern Conference with 9 shutouts last year. Marcio plays it wide to Glukowski. Biggest issue for the Catamounts is in their back 4. They dealt with 3 ACL injuries in that part of their team last year in the tournament run. Chipped in to Alexa Goldberg. There to scoop it up near the spot.
And that was the area of the game that Goldberg always struggled with in the first 2 seasons, was those balls across. You see patience there from the experienced goalkeeper, just allowing that ball to come and then reads the bounce. Does a great job of getting the ball into her hands and then starting the ball the other way as Mike Bailey got called for a ticky-tack foul there.
Matt, when it comes to the attack, you're an aggressive guy. Been working with you now. This is our 8th year together calling games. There's a lot of pace in the top 3. Vera Blum, who you mentioned, the freshman from Switzerland, is going to play a big part in the attack, number 13 in white. So even with the injuries, they have an elite pace up top. You're going to see a lot of those balls maybe played over the top that we just saw that Curtis played.
The great thing about the players is that they have the technical ability to receive the ball to feet and then distribute out to the midfield, spin off, and then try and get the ball again. But they also have that pace, as you say, to go over the top, stretch the defense, make things very difficult. Defenders cannot get comfortable on the ball.
Here's Blum, native of Sweden. Played in the U23 Swedish team. Sam Bohan has said that she's their best all-around player. High IQ for the game as a freshman. Jones puts a charge into another. She had the free kick prior from the same spot, and that's Trudell near post.
Jones has the ability to put a lot of spin on the ball. Hasn't put the pace needed and the accuracy needed to really challenge the goalkeeper, Trudell, yet.
Delaney Telex, one of the newest skaters, chasing towards that touchline. And they'll say that's out. Trying to win that 50-50 ball with Samantha Whitaker, the outside back. Gators will throw in their attacking half. 6+ minutes in here on opening night. Comfortable and pleasant start a new season temperature-wise for these players down on the field. Mentioned the Gators over 500 last year for the first time since 2019. They played a host of really close games and they ended the season strong, Matt. They only had 1 losing decision in their final 5 matches. They had 12 games decided by 1 goal or tied. They finished with 6 ties for the season. They were 6-5 and 6. That goes back to the strength of this team. That's the back 4 and Alexa Goldberg in frame. As we have a whistle here, Delaney Telex and Samantha Whitaker once again doing the tango, and that draws a whistle.
Whitaker strong in the challenge there. Telex under pressure once more. This occasion the whistle goes the way of the home team.
Big ball played over the top for Bailey. Jones chips it ahead, long run, Telex inside the 6, Trudell slides out. And that goes over the end line. This will be the first corner of the season for the orange and blue.
Well, the goalkeeper was really late in coming for this ball. I'm not sure she judged it very well. In the end, did a really good job of making up for her miscalculation. You see she was backing up as the ball was played over the top beautifully with the weighted service. Telex wins the corner kick.
Jones outswings a corner, goes off the head of Madison Young, who all the goals that she scored in her career have come off of headers. And also, you start to see, Matt, who plays certain roles in set pieces. We've now already seen Madison Jones twice take a set piece from 19 yards away and then take that corner kick. So those roles getting defined here early in the season.
Well, 2.5 weeks that the team has had together in preseason. Been working on that in practice. Trying to figure out who is going to play those roles, serve those balls in. And you want to have the same person serving the ball in if possible, because then you get used to the quality of the service, the pace of the ball, where it's going to go.
You mentioned the short stretch from the start of fall camp to the start of the season. That's a sore subject with every single coach you talk to around the country. For a lot of these teams, their first day of fall practice is August 1st, and you look up, the first game's on August 16th. So you're only talking about a handful of weeks to really get your team geared up after a spring season.
Incredibly, Florida had an exhibition game on the 4th.
Yeah.
Against USF, a game that they did win 2-1 here in Gainesville. Incredible that the players and the coaches were ready to go into action.
Long ball played in for Alexa Goldberg. This will be an interesting storyline, Matt. In non-conference, at least for now, the Gators are going to split playing time between halves for their goalkeepers. Alexa Goldberg is in her 5th year. They're trying to get their other 2 keepers on the depth chart some opportunities so they have some experience for the future years ahead, and that's going to help this program. And Alexa Goldberg, I'm sure she had the option to transfer if she wanted to because of the season she had. She probably could have gone to any Power 4 program, but instead she selflessly went into Coach Bohan's office and said, I'm willing to split time to, understanding the situation of the other 2 keepers, getting them some experience. So you're probably going to see Jaden Emanuel or Paloma Pena in the second half of this game. That just kind of shows, Matt, the culture that's been built here in Florida in such a short time under Coach Bohan.
Coach Bohan is very appreciative of the sacrifice of Goldberg and Tousell and De Leon. And I saw an interview with Coach Bohan, and she said that Goldberg had offers in the transfer portal when Bohan was hired. But after meeting with Samantha Bohan, Alexa Goldberg said, you know what, I like what I'm hearing from the new coach. I'm going to stick around. So Alexa Goldberg has decided not once but twice to stick around and help out the Florida coach.
Here's Delaney Telex to the right foot. Becca Campbell knocks it down. The rebound chance for Jones. Could not connect, cleared out towards Lauren Donovan. Telex once again settles on it. Whitaker watches defensively, works around her and chips it off the defender. Out of the 18 to Naya Marcio. Plays it out to the neutral third.
Well, good distribution there from the Catamounts to relieve the pressure for a moment. I think it was Muth there that blocked the chance from Jones on the rebound. Sacrificing to get in the way of the shot.
Gators 4 shots so far to Western Carolina's 1. 3 of those 4 on frame. Here's Tousell, the heart of that midfield. Rolls it forward for Jones. Here's that electric pace. Vera Bloom, her first collegiate game. Goes to the outside. Bloom recycles it back for Young, playing wide on that back line. Donovan, the vision for Curtis, not a great ball. Spits towards the touchline, saved by Curtis. Keeps possession. Jones has been active early. Arcs it ahead for Bailey. Campbell's back, and I believe that was off of Bailey last touch, so a goal kick. Becca Campbell wearing that captain band, number 3 in purple. One of the returners on that back line. Nice defensive play. And there's Lena Bailey expecting to take an even bigger jump on SEC preseason watch list this year. And there's Samantha Bohan in year 3. The culture has never wavered from the moment she stepped foot in Gainesville. And she understands the pride and the history of what has happened here. 14 SEC championships, a national title, trying to bring it back to prominence. Now Jones, just past Bloom, looking for a backside run and a goal kick.
Well, there's an example of the experience and intelligence of Bloom. Reading the play, getting in a position where she can get onto the end of the cross that comes in. Just wasn't able to get there early enough to meet the ball. But good vision from number 13 for Florida. And on the other side, we've seen a couple of really good moments defensively. One from Campbell, she blocked the shot from Bailey. And then before that, as Bloom was on the ball on this near sideline, Alexis DeMarco came over to provide some cover defensively to thwart the Florida attack.
Here's Alexis DeMarco. Glokowski on the central run, chipped out by Curtis. Safety valve back to Riley Niemeyer, seeing the start on that banged up back line. So Coach Miller electing to go with the freshman at that right outside back spot. Gators get possession back. They've been dominant in possession. Another ball played over the top, but Trudell well out from frame, sends it back in.
I think Florida really knew how high up the field Trudell was playing. Ball was essentially served right to Trudell's feet. A harder struck ball would have had the goalkeeper struggling. That is a strength of her game. Chad Miller mentioned that when we were talking to him in the week, saying how good his goalkeeper is with the ball at her feet. There's Chad Miller, his 14th season with Western Carolina. Last year was his best and the program's best.
Yeah, won SoCon Coach of the Year. Had 8 more wins in the year prior, scored 24 more goals than the year prior. Substitution as well. Malia Roberts is now in for Mississauga. Foul was called and a free kick for the Catamounts here. Near the center circle. Long ball played in. Young, the defensive header to Tozzle. Gators quickly on the counter. It's Jones. Telex. Bloom and Bailey to her left. Telex chips it back post. Bloom was there, just a little wide.
Well, you can see Western Carolina's back four getting back in good shape. It kept on dropping. Telex with a nice little move on the inside. Looks up and was spoiled for choice. Had Bailey on her left, Bloom on her left. A little understated perhaps. In the end goes for the shot, doesn't get the foot around the ball to curl it in towards Trudell's goal. Which leads to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is now taken, but that was a nice attack for Florida.
Well, Matt, you know I'm partial to New York, New Jersey. Delaney Telex is from Rochester, New York, transfer from Memphis, but Coach Bohan talking about her says that she's tenacious, and that New Yorker comes out in her at certain times during training, which she loves. She loves that edge that Delaney plays with, number 17 in white. First career goal came in the American Athletic Conference Tournament final. Ball played to center. There's Telex right on cue, and Trudell is out to smother. Big chance for the Gators here in the first half.
Well, a big chance for Florida and a big save from Trudell. This was a wonderful moment from Bloom. You see her there, she just flicks it up. Now she's looking up to see whether she can go to goal or whether she has support on the inside. She has a beautiful vision there. Delightfully weighted ball, and the goalkeeper reads it perfectly. Gets big into the top of the triangle and thwarts the shot from Telex right at the right moment. Good play from both squads on that occasion.
An electric pace up top. You can see how quick things can change on the counter for the Gators this year, led by their freshman Vera Bloom. And talking to Coach Bohan, she had mentioned that Bloom is so fast that the rest of the team has to kind of get up to speed with her. She's about a half step faster than just about everybody on the field. And that last pass, that connection into the final third is something that this team's going to work on in the first couple weeks of the year.
And just watching her as well, her movement off of the ball is fantastic. Just leading up to that throw in there for Florida. Bloom was moving off of the defender. It was only 2 or 3 little steps, but she opens up the angle, opens up the space for herself to potentially receive a pass. Should be a great one to watch for the young players, the young fans of Florida.
Curtis streams in, knocked down by Trudell. Campbell is able to roll it out of danger. Chip back in and caught by Trudell. Gators have the Catamounts on their heels. That probably one of their best opportunities here in the first half.
And the ball slipped through. Good strength. Would like to see that ball maybe slotted along the line of the 6, but you can't fault Curtis for having the opportunity to go towards the frame.
Curtis, one of 3 on the back format that are in their 5th year of collegiate soccer. We have Madison Young, who already is a senior. Klokowski to the left foot, sails towards Alexa Goldberg. Early chance for the Catamounts.
Save by Alexa Goldberg.
It was a little difficult for Goldberg. A little floaty shot, a good footwork. Playing to her strengths as the shot stopper. Well done from Goldberg, down to her right quickly.
Goals against average was a career best for Alexa Goldberg. 8 shutouts, a career best. 4th best in the Southeastern Conference. It's a former midfielder in high school. Has elite footwork, and her distribution, Matt, is the biggest area where she has grown. Curtis has her pocket picked. Hauser able to clear it towards Telex. Long run for Jones. And swept out of play by Mary Muth, Louisiana transfer.
Back line of Western Carolina, perhaps a little fatigued at the moment. Muth, making no mistake, just puts that ball out for the throw-in. Last 5 minutes, or perhaps a little bit more than 5 minutes, Catamounts have pretty much been on their heels. Really on their heels there, as Bailey puts just enough pressure on the back line to win the corner kick.
Gators will have their 2nd corner. We saw Madison Jones take the 1st. And will indeed take the 2nd. Right-footed outswinger. Parachute. And that's over the bar. All sort of circus-like tricks in the box. Telex was on the back end of that back heel, or that bicycle flick over the bar.
Well, this is a good deep service. Lots of players for Florida as targets. And Telex, who was the player on the goalkeeper, coming out to meet the headed ball. Trying to do the spectacular and didn't miss by much. Although in fairness to Dredal, I think if it had been on target, the goalkeeper was there to make the save.
Had that lone career goal in the American Athletic Tournament championship game last year, part of a Memphis team that made a deep run into the NCAA tournament. They were a Sweet 16 team. Long ball played ahead. Curtis cuts off the run of Abby Lanehart. Curtis gets knocked down. Lanehart now has space. Here's one in. And Young there, the defensive header towards Alexa Goldberg. Ball was played in towards Emma Susi. Ball won back by the Catamounts, and Young lets that roll out for a goal kick.
Well, it was a clever cross-field ball played, I think, by Marcial that sprung the attack for the Catamounts down the left flank. And Curtis knocked down in the challenge. Ball comes in and then headed up by Young. Played in the central defensive role alongside Varka last year, so she's used to those strong challenges that she has to make with the headed ball.
Madison Young playing out wide. The addition of Emily Hauser, the center back by way of Arkansas, won the SEC 3 times. They have 2 of the best center backs in the conference, allowing Madison Young to play at that left outside back spot. Who's there on the play and gets shoved out towards Hauser in the back line.
Well, Coach Bohan was a little concerned with Hauser's ability going forward. Arkansas, I think a little unfairly at times, get judged to be playing purely a long ball game. It's not really all they do. They're much better than that. But they are very much high tempo, and Florida at times can slow things down, knock the ball around, possess. Coach Bohan has been very pleased with the graduate transfer and how well she has fitted into the back line and moves the ball forwards for Florida.
Hauser, number 16 in white. They had to kind of teach her. I mean, technically, she's very good. It's just more of understanding the style of play that Florida wants, and that she has a little bit more freedom of movement and the ability to do different things from that center back spot. The rules aren't as rigid and strict from where she came. Gators have been living in their attacking half, still scoreless. Jones over the top, Telex. Lanehart tried to play it out, and it was cleared by Robitelli. Isabella DeMarco. Nice defensive play by Hauser. DeMarco coming off that 10-goal season, SoCon Player of the Year. We have not said her name a whole lot, number 29 in the purple uniform.
Coach Bohan will be glad that we have not had to call her name a whole lot, but we saw a moment there where an example of how quick she is on the dribble. And Hauser, number 16 for Florida, did tremendously well to be patient in the challenge. Steps in and wins the ball.
Well, Isabella DeMarco comes out. Maggie Lloyd will enter in. Niemeyer towards Lloyd as that captain band on that right arm. She goes down hard. Vaca with a vicious slide tackle. Did not draw a whistle. Play continues.
Welcome to the game. Lloyd still a little hitch in her giddy up. She's jogging back towards the halfway line. Flag went up for offsides, but the referee signals to the assistant on this near sideline that Florida have possession. Good officiating there, lets the flow of the game continue.
Curtis has been active with the ball at her feet. We're looking for Jones. It's even more remarkable for the SoCon tournament champs in Western Carolina. They lost 3 defensive players to ACL tears last year as the offside flag goes up on Maggie Lloyd. Will be Florida possession. You know, 2 of those ACL injuries came in the conference tournament in back-to-back games, including one of them in the tournament championship game. So they went into the NCAA tournament matchup in the first round against Alabama with just 1 healthy defender. They played them pretty tough. They only lost 2-0. It's even more remarkable, going back to the conference tournament, they did not allow a single goal in those 3 games that they played with all of the injuries they had in their defensive back line, all ACL tears.
Well, good teams deal with adversity, and definitely Western Carolina last year dealt with adversity very, very well. I think one of the ACL tear in the final happened 7 minutes into the match. There's been all hands to the pump to try and figure that out and solve the problem, and they did it tremendously well. And it was talking about the culture that Florida has. I think that the culture in Western Carolina is also in good stead.
Young, that one gets sent to the parking lot. Yeah, both coaches, when we talked to them, Matt, elated about their culture. And specifically for Catamounts, Isabella DeMarco, when talking to Coach Miller, just mentioned that she's one of those players that likes to stay after practice, work really hard, but she's the one also picking up the equipment after drills. And when your best player sets the example to everybody else on that roster, that's a key thing. And you look up and down, and the improvement that some of these players have had from 22 to 2023, it's pretty remarkable. And it's the same case on the Florida side as well. And that goes to coaching and development.
As a coach, you're trying to identify that type of player as a recruit, and you hope that that's what you're going to get. And when that happens, when the athlete comes to campus, it really makes you feel good as a coach, because it's one of those things. As a coach, you can say some things, but it means a whole lot more when it comes from the players themselves.
Yeah. We didn't mention, too, Chad Miller is born and raised, went to DeLand High School. But his parents actually did retire. They're living down the street in North Carolina right now, about 7 miles away. Najiri Butts on that run. Trudell clears it out. He's a Florida guy. He's excited to come back to the Sunshine State. And they do have 4 players on their roster from the Sunshine State. And then you see some of the highlights from last year's 13-win campaign. Chad Miller, Coach of the Year. Isabella DeMarco, the Player of the Year. They ended that dynastic run of Samford. Formerly a coach on that staff, Josie Ricks, now an assistant with the Florida Gators. As Bailey takes off in the 18. Trades paint, works to the end line, and that goes out as Becca Campbell takes a spill with Bailey. And it will be a Catamount goal kick.
I don't think there's a ball in the attacking third that Bailey will ever give up on. Superb athlete, quick, big heart, just trying to find a way to get that ball in and challenge the goalkeeper. Almost won the corner kick. It will be a goal kick for the visitors. That was Coach Miller told us it was move-in day today on campus in Gainesville.
Explains the traffic.
Explains the traffic and explains why they had to stay in Valdosta. I think he said they were.
That's right. They're staying in a hotel in Valdosta, so after the game, they have to drive to Valdosta, Georgia. They could not find a hotel within 100 miles of Gainesville. Jiri Butts knocks down a defender, crosses it towards center, and chipped out of play. Goes off the foot of Malia Roberts. That's one of the things Coach Bohan mentioned. Najiri Butts is so strong.
Graceful, quick, and sneaky with her footwork as well. There's a long, languid stride. And that lulls you into a false sense of security as a defender, and then all of a sudden, quick feet take the ball past you. It was a good ball played in. Roberts, since she's come in as a substitute, has made a couple of very important plays for Western Carolina, tracking players, intercepting passes.
Seen Charlotte McClure come in, has it on that right side with Curtis. Nora Abbott, the freshman, on for the first time. Curtis sends it across center to the left cleat of Najiri Butts, and out of play.
Butts at the back post there. Maybe she could have pulled away from the defender a little bit earlier and create some more angle to attack the far post as the ball came in. There's a couple of passes made on that far sideline that perhaps could have released Curtis down the line a little bit sooner for the cross as well.
Jiri Butts along the flank for Young. Thrown in towards Bailey, back to Frame.
Good communication there from Bailey. Hey, Darby, come and get the ball from me. Chased the ball down herself, did Bailey. She realized that her pass was not the right one.
Bear Bloom. Elite speed, circling around the 18. Gets it to the left foot and chips it towards Trudell. Bloom's played at the highest levels in Sweden. Recently, the U23. Entered as one of the fittest players on the team. Not just quick, though, Matt, has sophisticated speed. That's how Coach Bohan puts it.
We've seen examples of that tonight. Her movement off of the ball. A couple of quick little steps. And also to get free and create angles to receive passes. Coach Bohan very happy with the players from Sweden. Bloom is not the only one on this squad. Coach Bohan said, I've had some players from Sweden in the past that have struggled with the heat and humidity in Florida, but the players I have this year have not done that. They've been very prepared from a physical fitness standpoint to participate in the heat in Gainesville.
Bloom keeps it in. Poor clearance out towards Curtis. Muth trying to get it out of there. Finds the feet of Bailey. Bodies tangle, and this should go on Bailey. Fighting with Francesca Rowan, freshman. Bailey coming off a 4-goal season. 3 of those were game winners. 6-win campaign.
Florida, I think, just need to keep working the flanks. Catamounts are doing a very good job of clogging things up down the middle third of the pitch. The middle channels. For Florida, they need to find a way to get the ball a little bit wider to spread things out some more, make it more difficult to defend, and perhaps open up those passing lanes through the middle of the pitch again.
Sometimes that easiest answer is utilize as much width of the field as possible in the attack. Tozel from Bloom, centers it off. Trudell punches away. Poor clearance, remains near the top of the box for McClure. And we'll get a Florida foul here. Inside 9 minutes to go in the opening half. Still no score.
Well, there's the width I was looking for. Bloom gets the ball, and then from her central position, Tozel making the run. You can see her looking up to see where the runs are coming from. Ball played into the right area. Good work from Trudell, the goalkeeper, and then number 11, Vibitz, I think it is, for Western Carolina, getting an all-important touch to get the ball away from the Gators in the top of the box area.
Gators have dominated in opportunities. 10 shots to the Catamounts 2.
Coach Miller said that his team is a good team in transition. Likes good, disciplined defensive shape. They've had that in large parts. They have given up the opportunities, obviously. And as yet, we haven't seen them really have the success in transition that he would be looking for.
Young cannot connect with Jiri Butts. So Madison Young there, one of the best with the ball at her feet under pressure, according to Samantha Bohan. Meanwhile, coming up at the half, Alexa Goldberg mic'd up during one of the fall practices. Matt and myself will take a look at the SEC preseason poll coming out a few days ago, and stats and highlights from the first half. That's all coming up at the break. Did you see last night, Auburn took it to number 5 Clemson? I believe it was 3-0 or 4-0 final out on the Plains. This is the only game in the SEC tonight. So enjoy the shine you get, Matt Stubbington. Everybody around the conference is watching.
No pressure.
Riley Costa, meanwhile, who's versatile in the amount of positions she can play on the field. She's on for the first time. Number 12 in white has the ball at her feet right now. One of those players forced to maybe play a bigger role because of the injuries. Megan Hinnenkamp out for the year with injury. Tatum O'Coin, her replacement, is out for the year. Here's Butts utilizing that strength. Now Acosta. And that shinned away out of play. Francesca Rowan, the defensive sliding challenge. But the freshman earns the Gators' third corner.
It was an all-important challenge from Rowan to put it out for the corner kick. It may have been a missed shot at the top of the box that created the opportunity for Florida to keep it alive in the 18 and win the corner kick.
Tozel will take this one. Line drive service. Vaca in stride, tumbles through and goes out. Believe that went off the foot of a defender, and Abby Wise was coming back from an ACL injury a year ago. So will be another corner, flip sides of the field, but a great opportunity for Daviana Vaca.
Wasn't the best service from Tarsel, but the run at the near post caused some problems. A defender for a Florida attacker just goes to ground. Probably seen Vaca shoot a couple of times, trying to duck out of the way.
Goes back post, Young the header, and that crosses the line. And the Gators have their first goal of the new year.
Well, on the previous corner kick and the Vaca shot that led to this corner kick, I think it was Young that was ducking out of the way. But off of the Tausel service of the ensuing corner kick, there was no ducking. The arm goes up, the right foot through the back of the ball. And Young didn't really have to move a whole lot, but the textbook header beats the goalkeeper down on the low, bouncing ball. It's very difficult to save.
All 4 career goals for Madison Young have been headers. This in the 40th minute, first goal of the season. The Gators do indeed have that first goal, and they hope that's the remedy of SEC play. Score first and rely on that back 4, as well as Alexa Goldberg in frame to hold on to leads.
Well, the goal felt like it was coming. Florida have been on the front foot for large portions of this first 45 minutes. The important thing now is for the Gators to finish the half strong, make no mental errors, go into the locker room with the advantage.
Meanwhile, Delaney Tausel gets the assist. It's her 8th career assist. And a foul here on Charlotte McClure. Free kick coming up for the Catamounts, approaching 4 minutes to go for the half.
A little clumsy there from McClure. Ball was going away from the goal. Didn't really have to be as physical in the challenge. Just be patient. Shepherd the ball towards the sideline. It does give a great opportunity for the visitors to have a set piece opportunity, deliver the ball in, challenge the goalkeeper.
Here's Abby Wise coming off that knee injury last year. Parachutes one to the post. Acosta in a foot race. Sophie Birchfield was in that foot race. It will be Florida possession. Gators 13 shots to the Catamounts 2. When you look at last year, the Gators were pretty good offensively in the first half of games as opposed to the second half. They only given up 5 first half goals last year. They were +8 in that margin. So there are times they had some leads going into half. It was the second half where that scoring margin sort of evened out. Here's Kirsten Hahn with the takeaway. Oh, bodies tumbling all over the place. Nora Abbott went down hard, no whistle. Freshman who went to IMG Academy, number 27 in white.
Had recovered her position just enough to get level with the attacker, to go in for that tackle and not concede the free kick. And a good job from McClure. She gave away possession and was in the mix to challenge on that ball, but realized that Abbott was there and pulled out of a challenge from a more position, more posterior to the attacker. And that certainly would have given up yet another free kick. Fidel, the goalkeeper, shepherding her, imploring her team to go forward.
You see Nora Abbott there, Matt, was cleared in March, dealt with an ACL injury, and essentially shocking this coaching staff with how quickly she's flying around and feels comfortable on that knee, as Young can't connect to the long ball over the top.
It was the right idea, the right run. Vaca just needs to start that ball a little bit further infield so that it doesn't go out of bounds.
How about this note from Mary Howard, the great communications director, longtime communications director with Florida Gators soccer. We mentioned all 4 career goals for Madison Young off headers, all of them off corner kicks. The last 3 Madison Young goals have been assisted by Delaney Tozzle. It's like when LeBron and Dwayne Wade played in Miami with the alley-oop dunks. It's that sort of connection between those two on corner kicks. Matt's not big of a basketball guy, though. He's more of a baseball guy.
At least I know who those 2 players are.
Here's Malkin. Plays it in towards Acosta. Trudell, second effort, able to hop on top of it.
Well, the goalkeeper's had to be brave a few times in this first 45 minutes and does so again. Really well to get down at the foot of the attacker. Corrals the ball at the second time of asking, but makes her body big, so Florida unable to put the ball goalward off of the rebound.
Coming up, going into the halftime break, we will have Florida Gators head coach Samantha Bohan to get her thoughts on the first half. Her team a 1-0 lead.
10, 9,
Final
8,
seconds,
7,
Gators 23-3-3 all time in home openers. So far, so good. Through 45 minutes, Madison Young, a header in the 40th minute, assisted by, you guessed it, Delaney Tozzle. Once again, those 2 have hooked up a bunch in their careers. And a nice hug between Young and Anna De Leon, the rest of her teammates. And the Gators, Matt, have a 1-0 lead going into the break.
And they'll be satisfied with that 1-0. Forward have had 2 opportunities on frame, and the fouls, 4 for the visitors, 8 for the home team. Florida dominant in the attacking third, winning the 4 corner kicks to go along with the 13 shots that they put against Western Carolina in the first 45 minutes.
We'll see some changes in the lineup to start the second half for the Gators. Of note, in goal is Jaden Emanuel for Alexa Goldberg. Now, we mentioned this off the top. The meeting that Alexa Goldberg and head coach Samantha Bohan had about the future of this program and building up that position specifically that has not seen really anybody else aside from Alexa Goldberg get reps. That's going to change this year, specifically for now in the non-conference. They're going to split halves between Alexa Goldberg and a combination of Jaden Emanuel and Paloma Pena, and it will be Jaden Emanuel, who's the redshirt sophomore, has played 45 career minutes, played 1 half against Stetson last year, was a redshirt in 2022, and will get the start in the, rather Paloma Pena is in goal for the Gators, not Emanuel. So it is Pena, the sophomore, who will be in goal here for the Gators to start, and this is her first career game here for the Gators.
Part of the importance of that is giving those goalkeepers that work so hard in practice the opportunity. Because otherwise, at the end of this season, Coach Bohan might find that she has a couple of players entering the portal instead of having a deep.
Here's DeMarco with the takeaway, and a quick early chance here for Pena. Dives on top of it. Hard in your throat moment here, seconds in, and I'm sure for Pena, the sophomore.
Well, good footwork from Pena to get into the position to make that save down low to her left and quickly. I thought Curtis may have been fouled by DeMarco, but no whistle was forthcoming. Perhaps Curtis went to ground a little too easily for the referee's taste. Either way, it was a great opportunity for Isabella DeMarco to start this second half.
We did see both Emanuel and Pena get warm-ups at the half. It is Pena who does get the start. Played in the CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup with Dominican Republic. Played in 4 matches, led all players in saves and group action. Did not play at all last year, so this is her first career collegiate minutes. And the number 2 behind Alexa Goldberg, that is flip-flopped almost on a weekly basis for goalkeeper coach Austin O'Connor. Telex inside the 18, works to the end line. And can't keep it at her feet, out of play.
I think Curtis there trying to support Telex. Kind of got in the way, brought defenders into the area. Would have been better to just stay out of the position that Telex was trying to get into. In the end, Telex was then forced out wide and gives the ball away for the goal kick. A momentary look at Goldberg, stood on the sideline. Position she's not used to being in the previous 4 years of her tenure at Florida.
Lena Bailey. And Trudell remains in goal. Making 5 saves for her in the first half. Curtis lets one fly off the back wall.
And that was much better positioning there from Telex and from Curtis, recognizing where Bailey was, isolated on the flank. Ball comes into Telex, and then Curtis cleverly goes inside between the outside channel and the inside channel. Just wasn't able to get her hips around on the ball that she was trying to send goalward. The positioning was much better on that occasion from the outside back for Florida.
Gators have had the foot on the gas. 14 shots. They've silenced the top threat for the Catamounts and Isabella DeMarco. And this smartly cleared out by Mary Muth.
A great presence there from Bailey. Goes over to the left shoulder of Muth, who was trying to find a way to get the ball back to the goalkeeper, Trudell, who we know is very good with her feet. But Bailey came on the inside on the left-hand shoulder and forces Muth just to pull the ball out weakly, giving Florida the easy possession on the throw-in, which they maintain deep in their attacking third as the ball goes out off of the left fullback.
Tozel, Telex, look out. Split the palm trees up there above the back wall. That should count for something, right?
I'm not sure what. Not her Sunday best effort.
There's Leanne Trudell, native of Quebec, Canada. French is her first language, so learning English and learning to be a little bit more vocal at that position. How about some of the changes here, Matt, to start the second half? You see some of the youth. Nora Abbott, the freshman, starting. Riley Acosta, we saw for the Gators late in the first half. She is starting this second half, so a little bit different from how the Gators started this game.
Often Samantha Bohan would do this last year. She was satisfied with the way the team was playing at the end of the first half. Coming out of the locker room, those players were still warm. She would go back to those players, not necessarily go back to the players that started the game itself. And keep the momentum and the rhythm of the match with those that were just in the fray.
And much like other teams, it's very much the same case with the Gators. A lot of flexibility in midfield and at forward spots, but not so much in the back four. Coach Bohan really comfortable with that group, not going to really mix that up a whole lot. You do have Anna De Leon, who's somebody who's been a consistent starter in her past, a fifth-year senior who could come off the bench and maybe play some outside or center back.
More of a central defender. Reads the game very well, has good technical and tactical speed, not necessarily the physical speed that we see from Vaca and from Hauser. Reads the game very well.
There's Hauser playing center back with Daviana Vaca, returns for the Gators, part of the SEC preseason watch list. Got a chance to play with Tonga in the Olympic qualifier in February. Boy, what a season she had last year in 17 starts. Bailey plays it into the box for Telex. Squirts back out to Bailey. Shielding off by Campbell, earns the goal kick. That's part of why there's so many high expectations for the Gators defensively. It starts with number 23 at that center back position. She is an example of the transfer portal being used for good. Somebody who just couldn't find consistent playing time at BYU, just needed a change athletically, but personally as well. First time here on the East Coast. Her sister Leveni got signed by Fort Lauderdale in the USL. Acosta plays it off. McClure had it taken away at her feet by Muth.
Great composure there from Muth. It would have been so easy for the defender to be rash in the challenge. Read the ball well, did just enough to put McClure off of her stride.
We mentioned Vaca, her twin sister Leveni, just signed with Fort Lauderdale in the USL Super League, and prior to that they got a chance to play with each other at BYU, and now playing in the same state. Maybe a chance to see each other's games a little bit more. And it starts up this weekend, Super League. Leveni originally drafted in the NWSL, first Tongan female professional soccer player. Gators will throw in deep in their attacking third. There is Daviana, SEC first team, all Southeast region performer.
Gators look pretty comfortable in possession. Western Carolina chasing the game, but this is where they're dangerous on the counter.
Here's Isabella DeMarco, the SoCon Offensive Player of the Year, has it knocked down by Pena. Second effort off the bar, a bender. And the Gators able to clear momentarily. Chaos in the 18. And the Gators send it out. It doesn't go over the touchline, so it gets centered back across. But the Gators have their bearings underneath them as Pena welcome to college soccer.
Well, it seemed to come from nothing. Chad Miller said his team is most dangerous on the transition. I thought on that shot, perhaps DeMarco had taken a chance too early. There was pressure. It was from a long way out, but Pena gave up the rebound. The line was not cleared. Good pressure there, forcing the error from Vaca, and then the goalkeeper unable to make the touch on the ball. But the crossbar saves Pena and the Florida Gators.
So the player of the year in the SoCon almost had her 15th career goal, coming off that 10-goal season, led Catamounts just about every statistical category. And we mentioned she was quiet in the first half, and she almost made some noise early in the second. First collegiate minutes of Paloma Pena, the sophomore keeper.
I'm letting it go.
A wake-up call for Florida. 10 minutes, 11 minutes gone, and all that action happened. I'm looking at DeMarco. She's got some strapping on her right leg around the thigh. Maybe she's a little hampered from a little tweak. It certainly didn't seem to be hampered when she was going goalward. Nice footwork there from number 6 for Western Carolina. It's Siska.
Boy, did the Gators dodge one in that last sequence off the crossbar. The 5th shot of the night for the Catamounts. 2 really good chances for Isabella DeMarco.
The Western Carolina fans in front of us were up, thinking they were going to be celebrating the tying goal. Western Carolina have certainly traveled well with their fans to go along with this great Florida crowd.
4 players on the roster from Florida. Large contingent from Canada with Chad Miller. Robitelli along with Acosta. Madison Young, the goal in the 40th. The Gators have obviously dominant in chances. Do they have enough to create some separation here? For a team that scored 44 goals last year, one of the best years in program history, any way you slice it. It's the third most goals in school history. Meanwhile, Trudell is out. Telex was trying to redirect and could not.
Dangerous moment there. Like Trudell had misjudged it. That's with that New York area mentality, trying to find a way to get on the end of the ball. Wasn't able to do so.
Coach Bohan says that Telex is undersized a little bit at 5'5", but you can't push her off the ball. She has plenty of physicality that she plays with. She had to do a lot to create a little bit on her own in Memphis, and now the transition of being able to link up a little bit more with her teammates. Here she is again on the outside. Telex, patient, help comes from DeMarco. Out towards Curtis. Line drives one in, and that's sent just over the crossbar. Great service. And Acosta almost had her first career goal.
Well, again, I thought that Curtis did a bad job of bringing a defender in. You could see the two players then went to give attention to Telex, who does a good job of keeping the ball alive, and then finding Curtis, who had become open because the covering defender had gone to give attention to Telex. As you said, it was a good ball in, good run across the face of goal from Acosta. Nice touch, just over the crossbar by an inch or two.
Almost a dangerous moment. Curtis was able to get back to cut off DeMarco. We'll see how the communication is with Pena now in frame for the Gators. This ball lobbed over the top for Bailey. That's probably, Matt, I would say maybe the biggest adjustment for a new goalkeeper is how that communication either gets better or suffers, remains the same.
Well, you hope that it remains the same. Pena has to have confidence in herself and her abilities and her reading of the game to keep that communication up and be loud enough so that the players in front of her know what's going on, because the goalkeeper sees everything. You need to have Hauser and Vaca, those experienced players, young as well, to give feedback to the goalkeeper. Let Pena know, hey, we're not getting what we need from you. Or give feedback, hey, you're doing a great job, keep it up.
So Alexa Goldberg on the sideline, one of 3 fifth-year seniors that have had 3 coaches in 3 years. Of course, Becky Burley, legendary head coach, and deciding to stick it out. I had mentioned the story about Alexa Goldberg in 2021 when they made the coaching change after Becky Burley had retired. She had her options in the transfer portal, put her name into the portal. Coach Bohan talked her back here into Gainesville and has developed into an elite goalkeeper, and now playing that role as selfless teammate to develop Paloma Pena. You see in goal now Jaden Emanuel for the future of this Gator program. Meanwhile, a turnover. Perhaps Pena will get tested again. Kirsten Hahn on the outside. Curtis there to challenge her out of play for a goal kick.
Good strength from Curtis just to shepherd that ball over the byline for the goal kick.
That takes a lot, though, Matt, as a competitor, to be willing to sit out large chunks of games to think about the future of your Alexa Goldberg. This is your final year, so you're not going to be a part of it. But it just shows the culture that Samantha Bohan is fostering here in Gainesville.
It'll be interesting to see what happens as far as the next level.
Yeah.
Alexa Goldberg probably has ambitions of testing the waters professionally. Doesn't have to be in this country. The women's professional soccer game is healthy throughout the world. A lot of options for her, but you think, well, if she's not getting the playing time this season, perhaps her stock goes down a little bit. Having said that, I think it also goes the other way because she is such a team player.
And also, I'm not sure as Vera Bloom comes in, the electric freshman, the decision has been made necessarily of what they're going to do come SEC play, whether Alexa Goldberg then takes all the minutes once again or they continue to play the same remedy. That is, I think, yet to be figured out for Samantha Bohan. She's not looking that far ahead. Most coaches don't.
There's some good communication from the goalkeeper. Hey, I got this. Settle down. Just looking at the Catamounts a little bit, their tactical lineup. We were told that they were coming out in a 4-4-2, which they did play in the first half, but they may have shifted to a 4-1-4-1 formation, which I think is causing some problems for Florida in finding some space out wide.
Trudell has to rip that one out of play. Amelia Malkin was there to intensify some pressure for a throw-in. Back four remains the same as it has all game long. Young, Hauser, Vaca, and Curtis.
See nothing wrong with the footwork from the goalkeeper thus far with the ball played to feet.
I think what speaks volumes to what's being built here at Florida is you have somebody who's won 3 different SEC championships as Trudell glides that one out, and Emily Hauser, and deciding to come to a program that's essentially building up in somewhat of a rebuild in the SEC. Ball lobbed ahead. Telex, keeper was out, but that gets cleared out of the 18.
Trudell takes some rest as a goalkeeper, playing very, very high at times. A couple of times in this second half. Hasn't been embarrassed yet.
Eight shutouts last year for number 1 in frame. Telex bullets one on the ground near post.
That's a good recovery from Trudell, getting to the near post. It wasn't the cross that Telex was looking for. The goalkeeper retreats to the goal line and towards the back post as the player looking to cross the ball goes towards the goal line. Came off the side of the boot, perhaps a little of Telex. Went towards the near post area, and the goalkeeper's footwork was good to get down low and make no mistake.
Trudell talked a lot about tonight. 7 saves in that NCAA tournament match against Alabama. Had just 2 shutouts in 22, and then last year 9 shutouts. That led the conference.
And they had their opportunities against Alabama. There was 8 shots that they had in that match. Alabama not getting the start that they wanted this year. And they lost 3-0 last night.
Yeah, some highs and lows around the SEC in night 1. This is the only game in the SEC tonight. We'll have free kick coming up here for the Catamounts. This will be a throw in. Ball was over the touchline. Still trying to figure some things out as Chad Miller defensively, but they know what they have in goal. As Nora Abbott might get a yellow here. We'll see. There it is.
Well, heavy challenge, turns her back to the player. Understand why the referee pulls out the yellow card on that occasion. Mario Merrick with the whistle tonight, and you see just there as the ball comes down, the back is turned, the hip goes in, the player to the ground.
Butte to take the free kick. Madison Young, the header. We've yet to see the video review come into play. We were down on the field and we saw the monitor down there.
I was wondering when that ball hit the crossbar.
Yeah. There is some expansion in review this year, which is worthy of going over. All potential penalty kick situations, all straight red card situations are subject to video review. Denial of any obvious goal scoring situations, potential offside that lead to goal scoring situations. Saw that in the Auburn game, I believe it was last night. They had a video review on just that. So the video component growing more and more for the officials to get things right.
No, they're still trying to figure that out on the Premiership. Made some adjustments as action gets ready to get underway across the pond back home.
Locatelli, Hahn on the other end of it. Stops on a dime, gets it to the right foot, slithers across. Shot knocked down off the foot of Marcil and out of the 18. They'll say Catamount possession. Quickly go to work with Hahn. Catamounts have had 3 really good chances in this half to try and tie it up.
This is really clever footwork from Marcil at the top of the box. Open up the space for the shot.
Ball chipped across, works all the way through for Hahn. Glokowski into the crowd for Vaca. Lifts it out to the middle third. Gators a little bit on their heels now in the second half.
As you would expect, with a 1-0 advantage, you would anticipate the opposition to put you under pressure, trying to get back into this game. Florida have had their chances to put this one to bed, haven't done so. Western Carolina still hanging on. Starting to feel confident, getting on the front foot. As you said, they've had some really, really good chances. Florida very fortunate to hold on to the 1-0 advantage that they possess right now.
Bring back just about all their firepower from last year, too. 9 of their 11 starters, all 15 goal scorers are back in the rotation for Coach Miller. Scored 44 goals. That led the conference last year. It was top 40 nationally. And a massive jump from 2 years ago to last year in production offensively. Gators trying to find insurance. Telex couldn't connect with Curtis. Donovan able to save the day to keep possession.
Some miscommunication from Curtis and Telex. I'd like to see Curtis perhaps run to the outside of the pitch. That would then bring a defender out wider, open up an inside channel that perhaps Telex could then exploit on the dribble, or perhaps open up a pass further up the field. As it was, Curtis just ran in front of the number 17 for Florida, and nothing was able to come of it.
Meanwhile, Madison Jones is in for Nora Abbott. Gator substitution, back heel, Telex momentarily had an alleyway. Nice little creativity on the combination.
Needs to then have the confidence to try and exploit the space she creates for herself. Try and get further into the box. You're in your attacking third in the opposition's penalty area. Force the issue. Maybe something will come of it. Either a goal scoring opportunity, a foul in your favor.
Well, disagreement will go to the Catamounts, and more subs coming in, one on each side.
It's the right decision. Vaca coming out of the fray for Florida.
So Vaca comes out. She can re-enter in the second half. Lauren McCloskey, who has seen heavy minutes as a Gator, last year led the team in assists at 14 starts. Looks like Madison Young is going to shift into the center back spot, and McCloskey will play one of those outside backs. And a foul here.
Great strength from Jones there. Did really well to stay on her feet, keep possession of the ball, fought off two defenders, and then gets the foul called in her favor. Great work.
Hauser to take. To the head of Malkin, and Trudell scoops it up. Telex surrounded.
You see from both teams on occasion tonight, this is the first game of the season. A little hesitation at times on where the pass is going to be made and when it's going to be made. Campbell there with good strength to force Bloom off of the ball. Those momentary hesitations take away opportunities. And these good defensive players close down chances very quickly.
Nice play by Hahn to reclaim possession. Ball played ahead. Lopez was in the box. Gators have Young back there, goes spilling down to the ground, and a foul is called. Lauren McCloskey playing the role of trainer, playing the role of Connie Andrews.
I think Connie Andrews even got up off of the bench. Oh, there she is. I see her.
How about this, Matt? Largest opening night crowd at Donald R. Disney Stadium. Attendance of 1,113.
Fantastic.
7th highest all time at the Diz for Gators soccer. Gators last year had 6 ties, trying to turn a lot of those close ones into a full 3 points. Have a 1-0 lead. Hahn trying to equalize. Knocked down by Curtis. How hard is Josie Curtis working?
Well, I've criticized her on the offensive side of the ball, but I cannot criticize her on the defensive side. She played really well on that moment. Manages to get that goal side, strong in the challenge, patient in the challenge, and then wins the throw-in to boot. So, if she looks tired or not.
Well, Matt, Isabella DeMarco is back in here for the final 14-20. How do the Catamounts try and spring her free? Last year's SoCon Player of the Year.
Well, you have to say, keep doing what you're doing, because for the last 15 minutes or so, the Catamounts have been on the front foot. Taking control of the midfield, finding a way to get the ball up the pitch a little bit quicker. Take a look and see whether they've made another adjustment tactically.
Vera Bloom. Telex, and that flag goes up, offside.
Looks like Miller Chad Miller has perhaps gone to a 4-3-3 lineup, playing 3 up top. Susie in the middle.
So Maddie Lopez as well at the top of the tactical look.
And on this near sideline, you have DeMarco.
And that is the big name that right now is being marked by Josie Curtis. Coming off that 10-goal season, has improved on her finishing inside the 18. Was the first Conference Player of the Year in Catamount history. Gators keeping possession with the clock winding down. Telex, center of the field, has vision. Malkin to the end line, sends one just over the bar.
Well, this is where Florida will be dangerous as this game winds down. You see Telex looking around, trying to find support, trying to find the pass. Does so with a beautiful skill. Malkin managing to stay on side.
Malkin, a product of IMG Academy, 16 games last year. Figures to play an even bigger role this year. All-state in high school, also played some lacrosse. Ball taken away by Lopez. Remember, Vaca went to the bench, so McCloskey out to that outside back. The assumption would be Vaca would re-enter at some point here in the final minutes with a 1-goal lead.
Well, McCluskey was just hung out to dry by the goalkeeper there. It was a poor pass from Pena.
Robitelli has that go over the end line for a goal kick. Well, if you're Paloma Pena seeing your first career collegiate minutes, there are some heart-thumping minutes to start, but it has slowed down for her a little bit in frame, taking over for Alexa Goldberg as the Gators plan during non-conference to split the reps inside goal between Alexa Goldberg and a combination of Paloma Pena and Jaden Emanuel. Yet the Gators set for the future at that position. Play continues, no whistle for a foul. Telex, head of the field, getting back defensively to clear. Where the Catamounts looked like Samantha Whitaker got back, the sophomore defender.
Well, Whitaker has done well on a couple of other occasions in this game. This opened up, seemed to take a little while to develop. Ball checked up a little bit on the surface, and that allowed Whitaker to clear the ball out for the throw-in for Florida.
Number 29, Lena Bailey.
Malkin comes out, Lena Bailey comes in,
Substitute out, Amelia Malkin.
and a few subs for the Catamounts as well.
Not surprised to see Bailey back in the action. That's the pace to really stretch the field with the long clearances, as the Catamounts will be putting more players forward to try and get the tying goal with 10 minutes left in the game.
See the subs in the top left of your screen for Western Carolina. First touch for Bailey off the bench. Curtis rainbows it inside the 6. Taza was there, contact with the keeper. Bailey couldn't put it past the line. All sorts of contact, and Trudell is still down.
Well, credit to the referee for not blowing. Trudell thinks she was impeded and fouled at some point. Quite often before contact happens, the referee will blow a whistle to stop the action, but as this ball comes in, left-footed service, two players going for the ball. Credit to the goalkeeper. I think she made the save off of Bailey. Towsel's there. What a save from Trudell. What a save. I can see why the goalkeeper thought she was fouled by Tousel. Tousel was running in towards the goal. The goalkeeper had to back up for the ball.
McCloskey keeps it in towards center again. Trudell this time gets the whistle and could get a yellow here on Bailey. And there it is. How about that sequence for the veteran keeper from Quebec? You know, hockey's big up there. She's taking some hockey hits inside frame tonight.
I don't think an ice hockey goalkeeper ever gets that high. I think Bailey may have been a little bit hard done by. We'll take another look on the replay. She is late. The goalkeeper's back is turned. Definitely a foul. I think perhaps a little bit of makeup from the referee there for the yellow card.
She's trying to plead her case. And that falling down save on that Bailey rebound shot keeps this within striking distance with 9:32 to go. Still just a 1-0 game.
Well, it's only the first game of the season, and she may make more spectacular saves, but she won't make better saves than that one.
Gators have their starting forwards out there in Bailey, Bloom, and Telex.
Bloom has been very quiet in this second half when she's been in the action.
Bailey got knocked down at a whistle. The activity of Lena Bailey just never stops. That motor is always going.
An emotional player. This is a great chance for Florida. With a good service. Put the goalkeeper under more pressure.
Madison Jones to take it, left flank. Arcs one in, Trudell. And we get a whistle inside the box. And the Gators might have an opportunity to put this one away with a PK.
Well, Trudell, the goalkeeper, is disgusted. You can see her shaking her head as she goes back to her goal line. There's Donovan for Florida that goes to ground. The ball comes in. Shirt's being grabbed. Off balance. Not sure who the defender was.
Youth.
Youth there. Handful of shirt. Decision is a penalty kick.
Lauren Donovan to take it. The approach knocked away. Trudell keeps it a 1-goal game. Guess correct. And that Catamount contingent making a lot of noise right now in this 1,000 plus in attendance.
Well, it wasn't a bad penalty kick. Maybe a little central to the goal, but it was with pace. Challenged the goalkeeper. A good height. I said moments ago that Trudell wouldn't make a better save. She would make a more spectacular save, and she did it in the same game.
Would have been the first career goal for Lauren Donovan, her first penalty kick attempt of her career. Bailey, the flag goes up. Time waning down now, inside 8 minutes to go, but Trudell keeping a pulse for the Catamounts on opening night.
Well, that was a shame that Bailey went for that ball. Donovan was in an onside position. Lots of space had opened up for Florida. Bailey got into the action and got called for being offsides.
Meanwhile, the Gators 19 shots overall in the official stats, most since 27 taken last year in an 8-0 win against Stetson. DeMarco can't turn the corner. And a goal kick. Clock continues to churn now. 7 minutes left.
Well, obviously, Samantha Bohan wants her team to win this game. Keep the 0 on the opposition side of the score ledger. I think the one thing that would make the team and their head coach more satisfied with the result would be if they can find a way to get a goal in open play. You have 19 shots in a match. You want to be thinking that you're going to score more than one.
Foul is called. Go on the Catamounts. Free kick for Florida. Lauren McCloskey tumbled down to the ground.
Substituted in for Western Carolina.
Foul was on Alexis DeMarco.
Sophia Krakowski.
And a free kick.
Well, those are the type of mistakes that Florida does not want to make. Give the opposition set piece opportunities, chances to serve the ball into the penalty area and put your goalkeeper under pressure.
Foul was on Lauren Donovan. Free kick lobbed in. Pena punches it high in the air. The net is empty at the moment. Pena recovers and Jones whips it out.
Well, the decision from the goalkeeper was the right one, but I think she may have been able to catch that ball. It was a poor punch clearance.
Right here, right here, right here, right here, right here.
And the opportunity to get the depth in net experience in nail-biting moments. Campbell whipped. Niemeyer plays it back to Trudell. Donovan, Bloom, electric speed. Trudell slides it out.
Well, plays a high line and plays it well. I thought Bloom had done just enough to take it around the goalkeeper. You talked about hockey saves. That was one at the top of the attacking third.
Pena seems pretty cool, calm under that pressure right now with 4 minutes to go. What a night it's been for number 9 for the Gators, Josie Curtis, all over the field, especially marking Isabella DeMarco.
And trying to get into the attack. Some of her runs have not been as industrious as they need to be, smart as they need to be. But definitely cannot fault her defensive presence this evening.
Campbell shields off Jones. Nice look from McCloskey.
It was a great overlapping run from McCluskey. Jones decides to come inside, tries the trickery. I think it may have been the wrong play at the wrong time. Space was open inside, should have had a shot at goal.
Gators continue to play keep away. Inside 3 minutes left. The Catamounts have one last charge. Near side of the field, number 29 in purple is their top striker. Catamounts had a shot off the bar, off the foot of Isabella DeMarco early in the second half. That was their best chance. Pena and Goldberg forced to 2 saves apiece in the Gator net.
Substitute in for Florida, number 14, Julie Marks.
Gators also looking for a third consecutive win in a home opener. Najiri Butts in for the Gators. And Bloom, the freshman, comes out. First collegiate game for number 13. Now takes a seat on the bench. Here's Butts right away. To the end line. Telex able to put it home. And the Gators most likely put this one away on opening night. The first Gator goal for the Memphis transfer, Delaney Telex.
Najiri Butts just came into the action, receives the ball, grace, poise, quick feet, looks up. Telex had pulled away from the defender who had to go to the near post. Calmly lets the ball drift across her body and side foots it into the back of the net. A calm finish in a big moment. And that is not an easy chance because you have a lot of time to think about it. And that was really nicely done from Telex and a great assist from Najiri Butts.
Goal in the 88th, second career goal for Telex. The assist from Najiri Butts. And the Gators now moving closer to an opening night win. First goal for Telex since the American Athletic Conference Tournament final.
I think from Florida's standpoint, that was an important goal. To get one from open play, something that the Gators have struggled with over the last 3-4 seasons. Will do wonders for their confidence.
A lot of confidence from the newcomers for the Gators. It's the old and new. Madison Young with the goal in the 40th. And the newest Gator, Delaney Telex, with the goal in the 88th.
1 minute remaining in the game. 1 minute remaining.
Key for the Florida Gators right now is to finish out the final 60 seconds without mistake. Keep the 0 on the opposition side of the ledger.
Again, adding context to this is a Catamount team that won their conference tournament championship, won their regular season title, went to an NCAA tournament, returning just about all of that production from last year with a really good keeper in net. We've seen all night Leanne Trudell. And a tremendous striker in Isabella DeMarco. The Gators were able to find a way, and they're trying to pitch a shutout here to start a new year after 9 clean sheets a year ago. Gators, what a performance. They're able to close it out on opening night. The Florida Gators in front of the highest attended season opener in the history of Donald R. Disney Stadium. They shut out Western Carolina by a final score of 2-0. Madison Young with the goal late in the first half. Delaney Telex, her first Gator goal, and the Gators defensively get the shutout with a combination of Goldberg and Paloma Pena, and they move to 1-0.
Well, it wasn't easy in the second half, but this team found a way to get the job done. A year ago, they may have tied this game or lost this game, but as we said in the open, the culture is right in Gainesville. And Samantha Bohan has a team with depth, confidence, and ability. And maybe this will be the springboard forward. It's early doors yet, but I think the team and the coaching staff will be very satisfied with this performance tonight.
So far, so good for Coach Bohan's squad. We step aside, return with stats and highlights. That is next. Gators winners on opening night.